So we're going to then move to the thing. So when we look at it, we call it a niche. Now, what's my definition of a niche? Now, what's my definition of a niche? That there's no what competition? Everyone know? Price. So what's the deal with that? Why are most businesses competing on price? Because there's nothing unique about them. There's nothing different about those businesses. If they don't have a uniqueness, what do they got to compete on? Price. But that being said, how simple is it for a business to stop selling on price? Well, let's do this. Let's say you're calling someone to buy new tires for your car, okay? You call them up, want new tires for your car. What's the first question you're going to ask? What's the price for tires for this type of car? And if they just give you the price, what is the only thing you have to make a decision on right now? Price. So we've got to teach people how to not focus on price. We've got to teach salespeople, we've got to teach the marketers how to focus on value, how to focus on things. What's one of the fastest ways you can kill a business? It starts with D. Discounting, correct. The moment you start discounting, you're starting to kill a business. You know, too often, and especially in small to medium-sized companies, when they start thinking discounting, they start actually losing business hand over fist because, well, here's the thing. When you discount, what type of customer do you attract? Cheap. Someone that wants cheap prices. Will there always be another business that's willing to offer cheap prices, yes or no? Always going to happen. So our aim in the niche segment is now, how do we define a great set of customers? What are we looking for? And of course, we don't just want them to come in once, we want them to come back again and again. So this is where we have to look at how do we actually do that. So when I go in and start talking about growing a company, there's three areas that most people focus on with me. They say, Brad, you know, we need more customers. Brad, we need more revenues. Or Brad, we need more profitability. I'm going to show you a formula in a moment that shows you those three things are actually not important in a business. Why are they not important? Well, very simply, when you see the formula I'm about to teach you, they are just the end result of another 5 areas. And these 5 areas are the most important 5 areas in business. Yet, when I ask the average business owner what this formula looks like, they have no idea. So, if you haven't taken great notes to now, this one you want to really write down very well. My first book, Instant Cash Flow, had a whole bunch of information on this, but you've got to know this formula. So, the formula works like this. Number of leads. Leads is like prospects, potential customers. They could call your business, you could call them, they could come over the internet, they could walk into your store, however it is you communicate with customers. So number of prospects or leads. We then multiply that by your conversion rate. That is the percentage of those that could have bought to the percentage of those that actually do. So 10 people called your business today and only 2 of them made a purchase, your conversion rate's 2 out of 10 or 20%. Now, if you don't know those numbers, how do you improve them? Any sports fans in the room? How many stats do they keep in sport? All of the stats. Why do they want to know their numbers? How come? So they can get better. If you don't know your numbers, it's very hard to get better. So I ask you, how many of you in this room know how many leads came into your business last week? Like how many actual people called you, walked in, whatever they do in your business? Who knows that number and knows it accurately? Okay, see, that's the problem. That we don't know the number, how are we going to improve it? Now, my coaches, I've taught all of my coaches 87 different lead generation strategies. So there's 87 different methodologies to bring leads into a business. Average business, how many different ways do they have leads coming in, do you think? 5? Any other guesses? 1 or 2? That's far more like it. 1 or 2 strategies to bring in leads. Do you think you can have a growth business with only 1 or 2 strategies to bring in leads? Not happening, is it? And again, this comes back to my marketing question. Why aren't people putting more money into marketing? Because usually their marketing's done badly, therefore they put money into a radio advertisement, it ran 10,000, whatever number of times, and they said radio doesn't work. And it's not that radio doesn't work, it's that advertisement run on that station at that time with that offer, that headline, and that voiceover didn't work. A lot of variables to look at in this thing. So then conversion rate. We have 83 different strategies to improve the conversion rate of a business. And we're going to get to how to do some of these in a moment. But the point behind it is this. What you've got to look for in each and every one of these is, do you know the numbers and do you have a plan to improve them? You know, because when we start with you, one of the first things we're going to do is find out what are these numbers. And then we're going to say, okay, we're going to look at how much we have to improve them to hit your goals. Then we've got a plan. You see, you sit down and start thinking about it. If you know your numbers are here and they've got to get there, we can design a plan to actually make that happen for your business. So then we've got to look at number of transactions. Now this is about repeat business, how often a customer buys from you over and over again. Now some customers will come in once, you'll never ever see them again. Other customers will come in 10, 20 times a year, but this is about the average number of times the average customer comes in per year to buy from you. Now again, we've got to get them coming back more often. Then we've got the average dollar sale. You know, and we sit down and we look at it and we say, okay, what is the average sale in this scenario? How much are people actually spending? Now, some will spend 5, some 500, but what's the average is what we're looking for in this case. Again, let's develop a plan to change that. Then we've got the margins, okay? What is the profitability of this in this example? That's what we're looking for. Of course, we want to improve that. Now, if your revenues go up, will your profit margins go up? Yeah, because your cost coverage is already done. But on top of that, we've got another 50-odd strategies to improve the bottom line profitability of a business. And not just cutting costs. This is not the only way to improve margins. A lot of marketing things will improve margins. For example, ask Ralph Lauren how much he charges for a polo shirt versus going down to your local store and buying one there. You know, marketing does help margins. It helps the amount we charge for something, so therefore it works. So let's put some numbers into this so you can get an idea of it. I'm going to go pretty quickly with the numbers, but just help you understand. So let's pretend last year we had 4,000 potential customers. You might like to write these down so you can actually work it through. 4,000 potential customers. Let's pretend we sold to 1 in 4 of them, okay? So only 1 in 4 actually made a purchase. So you've got how many customers in this case? 25% conversion rate, 1,000 customers. Does that make sense for everyone so far? Okay. Second one, then we've got to look at the next part of this, transactions. Number of transactions, how often you get them back. Let's give in this example 2 times a year. So again, some people never came back, others came back 10 or 12 times, but the average person bought twice. Then let's use the average sale and say it's 100. Just for ease of numbers sake, here's 100. So you've got 1,000 customers doing 2 transactions at 100 a time. So what's your revenue? 2,000 transactions at 100, 200,000 in revenue for this little business. So then we're going to do margins. I'm going to make it easy for you and just say let's do 25% margins, okay? So it's easy math. So this business's profitability is 50 grand. Now, why do you see I've got those 3 numbers highlighted in red? The customers, the revenue, and the profitability. Why do you think I've highlighted those?
The most important.
The most important? Absolutely not. In fact, the exact opposite to that is the answer. They are the 3 least important ones. Why are they the least important numbers on that page? They're the outputs, they're the result. Remember I said that a moment ago. They're the end result. The equal sign is in front of them. So the 5 numbers we actually need to know, the 5 numbers we actually want to work on are leads, conversion, transactions, average sale, and profit margins, okay? So these are the things that we've got to look at in a business. Now, at Action Coach, we have an advantage over most people because we have like 80 here, 70 odd strategies there, 60 odd strategies there, and another 50 odd strategies there. So all up 280 odd strategies to improve the bottom line to work with business. How many of those strategies most business owners know? Very few. Why? They're hairdressers. They're cutting hair all day. You know, they're not focused on this stuff. This is where we've got to get you to focus. But it takes the mastery area first, getting the basics done right. Then we move to the niche to take care of the cash flow. Just let's look at each of these areas if we could do a 10% increase in them. Now, most of the time we can grow your business a lot faster than you can grow it. Why do we have to go slower with our marketing than what you can do? 2 reasons. Number 1, cash. Does it take money to grow a business fast, yes or no? How many of you have had that problem where you've grown too fast and you started to run out of cash and you're like, hang on, we got to slow down a bit because we can't put enough stock, or we can't hire enough people, or we can't open a new office, or you couldn't afford to grow at that speed. What's the second reason we have to grow a little slower for most companies? Think about it. Money and ability to deliver. See, the ability to deliver is another thing. If you get too many customers too fast, could that put you out of business just as fast? Yes or no?